Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kara of Lady Fox Stitches. I'm a long arm quilter located in northern Nevada. Today I have some customer quilts to share with you, and I have a personal project that I'm about to begin, and I'm really excited about that. I'll also share with you my newest art acquisition. So stick around, let's get started. I had a really great Labor Day weekend. I hope you did too. I was able to go camping with my husband, and we went to Midway, Utah to do that in. I'll tell you a little bit more about that trip later on in the video. But first off, I want to share with you these customer quilts. The first one I have is actually from my niece, Zoe. She is just learning how to quilt, and so she got to go through scrap piles, pick out her squares and design her own little 9-patch blocks, which she threw together. I shouldn't say she threw it together. She sewed together in this little wall hanging size quilt. So it's 9 patches, if you can see that. I'll go this way. And they're all just scrappy. She put each one together. She picked a lot of fun kind of novelty type prints. This one down here I love. Let's see, let me get the right. Hold on. It's hard to figure out where the camera is. Okay, so this one here, the cute little strawberries, a little Heather Ross kitty cat there with a ball of yarn, and then these little like cops and robbers. It's such a cute little fabric. I've had that one in my stash a long time. So there's all kinds of fun fabrics she threw in here. Some you may even recognize from years past. Love this one right here. This is one of my favorite prints, and we are almost out of it around here. Just little, let's see this one right here. Little bits left is all, little scraps. Super fun. So she did a great job. She was practicing her 1/4-inch seams, keeping things consistent and straight. So then we sashed each 9-patch block, the little sashing, put a little border on it. She picked her own backing fabric. So this is really perfect. Zoe is about 15 years old, and so she's just starting this fabulous craft. Really excited that kind of the next generation is learning how to quilt. She picked the pantograph on this one. She wanted the meander, a meander. This pantograph is easily done by hand, and which is one that I actually learned how to long arm quilt with. It's just a meander, and we do it freehand and practice getting, you know, as consistent as possible, not crossing over any lines. But this one is actually a digital pantograph, and it's called Overflow, and it's a very easy to stitch out pantograph. It looks beautiful. I think this kind of standard meander pattern of quilting looks good on absolutely every single quilt. So you can't go wrong with a little meander. The thread color is a glide in linen, which blends in perfectly with this creamy sashing, and of course on the backing as well. You can hardly even see it. So it's really great. So Zoe's going to get this quilt pretty soon, and she'll be able to bind it up, learn how to do that. I'm sure her mom will help her do that. And she'll have a cute little first quilt. So I'm really excited for Zoe. She did a great job. Her seams did good. She did good pressing, all of it. So that's exciting. The batting in this is Quilter's Dream 80/20. So a simple cotton poly blend, which is perfect for quilts. So great choice, Zoe. Great job on that. Really excited about that. Okay, this next quilt is from Teresa, and she reached out and wanted to make sure that I had a paw print pantograph, which I happen to have. This is a really cute pantograph, especially if you do anything with, you know, pet related or whatever. So let me hold this up for you, and I will show you. So this is just a nice big patchwork style quilt, big squares. I mean, I'm guessing 9 to 10 inches big, just kind of arranged however she wanted. This themed fabric here, the lions, yeah, right here. She's got this lion print and then the paw print, and then kind of just a plain, very pale yellow fabric there, and then a brown border, pretty wide, and then the backing is this kind of, I call this, it's not a batik, it kind of looks like it could be, but it almost looks like, you know, like alcohol ink, if you do art with alcohol ink. Fun little craft type way to paint and do different crafts. She had me bind it, and we just used the leftover binding, or the leftover backing, to bind it in. So that's done that for her. I sewed the binding onto the front, rolled it to the back, and then stitched it down because I wanted the thread to match the quilting thread. And the thread color on this one is Glide in Linen. And again, that's because it just blends so nice. It's that nice creamy look. But let me give you a up close look at the pantograph. Let's see if, I think it's easiest to see right on the back because of the dark fabric. So it's a paw print, and then it loops over and connects with a heart, and then another paw print. And the rows are nested just a little bit and offset so that they tuck in there really closely. This is done kind of a pretty light density. It's not very dense. Kept it very loose. And the batting in this one was given to me by Teresa. She brought the batting, and it was labeled Quilter's Dream Cotton Request, which is the thinnest loft of Quilter's Dream. And so it's a very lightweight quilt. It feels really nice. It drapes beautifully, but it is, you can tell it's definitely thinner. When I look at it, it's hard to really measure the thickness just by looking at. You can feel it for sure, but they just look so similar, you know. But definitely you can feel overall that this quilt is quite light. So great job, Teresa. You'll be getting this back really, really shortly. Okay, the next quilt I have to share with you is Callie's. Callie's quilt is really fun and bright. I'll hold it up here for you. It is the patterned pieces of this quilt are all Kaffe fabrics, and you can see that they're chopped up into cut up into little squares, not tiny, but just like 2.5 inches ish. So they're cut, and then you know, you lose kind of the whole big pattern of Kaffe, but when you put them all together, it's very dramatic, very striking, very bold. As you can see here on the back is another Kaffe print. These big, huge florals. So when you cut up fabric like this into small, you know, 2.5-inch squares, you get quite the variety of colors and things. And I think you really see that here. You're just gonna get little glimpses of this beautiful Kaffe fabric. But when you put it all together into this cute little zigzag step pattern, the pattern is actually called, here I wrote it down, this is called Dublin, and it's a Villa Rosa Designs. And the back, I guess what you'd call the background, is actually a woven. Let me bring it in. It looks purple, right? But I actually think it's woven with like a pink thread and maybe like a teal thread. And when it's woven together, it kind of comes out kind of purpley, but really It's a beautiful, can you see that? Let's see, where is it? Right there. It's a beautiful, beautiful fabric. Love it. The batting that Callie chose is the Quilter's Dream Poly Puff. She wanted it to have a little extra loft when it was quilted up, and it looks amazing. So it really gives it dimension and texture. The thread color on this one is a glide thread in celery. So it's kind of a pale green, which of course pops, you know, it's taken from these green bits of color in the quilt. That green thread on there just adds a little bit of extra oomph with this bright and bold quilt. So super lovely. The pantograph is actually kind of another meander style pantograph. It's not traditional. It's a little bit more modern, I would say, and it loops around and it does cross itself sometimes. And the rows are nested so that you can't actually tell where one row starts and one begins. They just kind of overlap, but they're these elongated little loop things and just swirls all around. It's a pantograph designed by Jess Ziegler of Longarm League. And it's a great pantograph. Super easy to stitch out, quite quick actually, but it has a really nice overall texture. And again, that kind of meander look just looks great on most every quilt. So great job, Callie. I'm excited for you to get this back so you can get it bound. Oh, the size. I should have told you the size on this one. This quilt is 54 by 66. So it's just a nice little throw size quilt. Can you see that there? So pretty cute. Pretty cute. Okay, another quilt to show you. This one's much larger. This one is about 80 inches by 100 inches. So let me hold it up. The fabrics in this, I think all the fabric except the border and the backing is from Denise Schmidt's line Pretty Things. It's such a nice big quilt, it's hard to hold up so you can see it. In fact, I might have it sideways. Yeah, okay, let me hold this up. Ta-da! So this is a pattern, it's the Dash quilt, and I can tell you who it's by. This pattern is a Wisecraft pattern, and you can really see it. It's very striking when you see the dark fabrics and the light fabrics, how they're arranged to make that crisscross pattern. Such great use of the values of the fabric. And just looking at it up close, you know, as I was working with it on the long arm, it's not as noticeable, you know, when you're rather close to it. But once you kind of hold it up or step back just a little bit, you can really see those, you know, crosses stand out, the little X's. So I think it's really beautiful. I love this fabric. You've seen me make my own quilt out of it. I think it's a lot of fun. It's so bold, bright, geometric. Just a happy, happy fabric line. Sharon put a kind of an extra block that she had. She just put it right there in the backing. So I thought that was cute. The backing fabric is like these little kind of floral flowers that are kind of stacked on top of each other, right next to each other. Kind of geometric. It actually goes really well with this fabric line, even though it's not part of it. Great color. And then this border fabric is a black and white. It's kind of these doodly daisies and swirls. And because of that border fabric, I was able to decide on a pantograph. I was debating on what to do, but I kind of got inspiration from the border fabric. So I used a pantograph that's new. That's actually really new to me. And this is another one by Jess Ziegler of the Longarm League, and it's called Bloomlet. It has like a little 4-petaled bloom, and then it swirls around and does a little loop-de-loop, and then swirls over and does another little 4-petaled bloom, and then swirls around. So it just goes all around, easy to stitch out, nothing, no back stitching or no, you know, it doesn't go over itself at all. It just swirls around. On this particular fabric that this quilt is made out of, you can't see the pantograph. It does not stand out at all. It really settles into the quilt. Even the black and white border where I used a bright white thread, that's a glide in white. I use that white thread and it blends in with the fabric and you can't really see the pantograph at all. I'm going to see if I can get it to show up on the backing maybe a little easier so you can really get a good look at it. Ooh, if I get a hold of it. Let's see, you can see this, there's the little 4-petaled flower, loop-de-loop, swirly. Yeah, it just kind of repeats and repeats. Looks really good. It's a nice overall, you know, good coverage, not too dense. Doesn't need to be. It's beautiful. Turned out really good. Again, I used that white thread because of the brightness of this quilt. I mean, it's so colorful. It's so bold. I didn't want to dull it in any way, so I added the, used the white thread. Like I said, you can't really even see it until you get up really close to it and study it. So yeah, so this one's all ready to go back to Sharon. Again, I'll give you one more, kind of hold it up here a little bit so you can see that design. It's so beautiful. What a great pattern. There's so many good patterns out there. It's hard to decide what to do next, right? While I was on my trip to Utah for Labor Day, I was able to pick up some more canvas because I want to make another oxbow tote. If you remember from one of my first videos, I made this a darling tote bag. It has this outside pocket, the bottom here, canvas bottom. It has the webbing handles, nice big zipper. Of course, it's lined, has some pockets in there, and it has the hardware for a long strap, which I do have. I made. I don't ever use the long strap. I prefer to just carry it by its handles. But I love this quilt. I made the larger size in the pattern. It comes with 2 sizes, the large and then the regular, or large and small or something. And so I have, since the day I made this, I've wanted to make it again in the smaller size. So I finally picked up some canvas here. This is what I picked up. Very neutral taupey color with these black and white flowers. Oh, there is a stem. I think it's very directional. It goes like this. Isn't that cute? Really, basic, nothing too crazy. So that's going to be the outside of my bag. And I picked up some polka dotted, it's black with that natural color polka dots on it. And that's going to be the accent pocket. And then I have, for the lining, I picked up this Anna Maria print in the black and the natural color with a little pop of orange. Isn't that pretty? I think that's going to look really good on the inside. So outside and inside. I did get some just black canvas, and this is going to be for the bottom. The pattern calls for like a wax canvas if you want. It doesn't have to be, but I did use, this is a wax canvas that I used on this last one, and I want to use that same kind of fabric again. but I'm going to try waxing it myself. So it's a combination of beeswax and paraffin that you kind of melt together, brush it on, and get it to soak into the fabric. That adds a little extra oomph and durability, and it looks really great. So I'm going to try that. So that's me trying to be a little crafty. I picked up just some straight black webbing to go with that, and then I have the zipper with the metal teeth and the little ring. So just got myself a bag zipper, and I've got the stabilizers and stuff so I can get that project going. I'm really excited about being able to make another oxbow tote. I think this is the cutest bag. It just looks so like I could have bought it somewhere, right? I love how durable it is, how sturdy it is. It has, you know, that foam stabilizer in there it's quilted with. And it's a great overnight bag size, so I've used it a couple times, but I just want one a little bit smaller to use to carry my books for my Bible study class that I do in the morning with some of the teenagers in our area. So I'm really excited about getting this next project started. I've been gone, like I said, we went camping, and so I haven't been able to be in my sewing room doing personal projects like I would like. But hopefully I'm going to be here for a few weeks and be able to get some things sewn. So you can see that I picked up this year at Swiss Days my new Swiss Days shirt. It says Midway, Utah. I picked that up, but they have a really fabulous craft fair there every Labor Day weekend. And it brings in a lot of people. It's quite crowded. The goods that are sold there are really high quality, good stuff. People make it. It's a lot of it is, you know, very. It's just really good stuff, and so I quite enjoy every year walking down and, you know, looking in every booth and seeing kind of the wares that people bring and make and create. And so there's a lot of artists that come and sell their art, and I have become a little bit of an art collector of sorts. I'd like to think of myself as an art collector. I really like original paintings, and so I was able to spend my Swiss Days budget on a new painting. So I thought I would just share that with you just for fun, just to show you what I picked up in Midway. Okay, so here's what I purchased. This beautiful painting, just a vase of, you know, flowers, but I love the colors. I love the gold frame. I loved everything about it. This is Chantry Brewer Fine Art, and he was super nice. I got to meet the artist and purchase it from him. I really, really love it. So I've got myself a few original paintings now, not too many, but usually they're florals like this. I always look everywhere I go to see if I can't find new art to purchase. So this felt very special to me. I'm really excited. I love my purchase. Anyway, thought I would just share that with you just for fun. If you are in need of long arm quilting services, I'd love it if you would check out my website. That's ladyfoxstitches.com. You can see the different services that I offer there, and you can go ahead and book a quilt through a form on the website. Just fill that out, and I will be in contact with you so we can work together in getting your quilts finished. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Lady Fox Stitches. Keep sewing and keep quilting, and I'll see you real soon.